Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hello and welcome to Shark Tank Session 3. I believe it's Session 3. I haven't forgotten one, have we?
Yeah, we got it. 4?
No. I think it's 3. I'm pretty sure it's 3. Guys, thank you so much for joining us in Decentraland. We hope you're all doing well. For those of you who don't know, the Decentraland Metakey Shark Tank here, we get 3 pitches from the community to give us their ideas for shaping the future of the metaverse, new projects, new products in the NFT space. We have a group of expert panelists here who give us some feedback, some Q&A. We have a bit of a discussion about it as a community. Those of you here watching will also have an opportunity to ask some questions and give us some feedback as well. We have a bit of a discussion on each of these for 15 minutes total, and then at the end of the day, we'll decide which out of these 3 the panelists are going to award $500 to in ETH, and then which out of the 3... Who are you laughing at? You laughing?
The roast chicken guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe the roast chicken. That was a great
my
drop.
Goodness. See, I nearly got through the intro there without laughing at Maddie's faces. Yeah, and another $500 will be determined by the DAO afterwards. So that's basically the structure. Each of these pitches are going to have 5 minutes. Then we're going to give them 5 minutes of feedback from the panelists, 5 minutes of feedback from the community. We've got a special guest panelist here, don't we? Andy, what's up? How are you doing? Tell us about yourself real quick. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm really excited to be here. I was asked by Peanut Butter if I could attend, and I good friends with him. I am an entrepreneur IRL, so I'm glad to be here. This is great.
We're really happy to have you, and we're excited to hear your insights. All right, I'm going to disappear now because I've done my bit, so I'm going to go have a nap, and I'm going to hand it over to Kevin to introduce our first pitcher, if you please.
Absolutely. My pleasure, and thank you all for coming. As always, it's exciting to get together for the Shark Tank event. The Meta Crew is a community full of ideas, and the whole point of this event isn't to say one idea is better than the other, but to prepare you all to present and pitch your ideas in best fashion. Everyone has great ideas. We're here to help you not only with some feedback, some empowerment to get your idea out into the community, but also somebody lucky enough to get selected is going to walk away with $500 to $1,000 worth of Ethereum, I believe. So without further ado, do I introduce our first pitcher of the evening, Walt Bizney from Free the Mouse. The mouse actually will be public domain in 2024, and Free the Mouse is the first generative fine art experience celebrating his release. So welcome out into the wild, Mouse. They have a number of NFTs, and before getting into more detail, I'm going to hand this over to Walt Bizney and let him tell you what they're doing at Free the Mouse. Walt, are you there?
Yes, hello. Thank you so much, Kevin, for the introduction, and hello, everyone. Thank you for having us on today. Will our visuals be shared as we speak, or shall we speak and just imagine it is there? Okay, incredible.
No, I'll give you the visuals, but first, can you just give us like a 30-second introduction to yourself and your project?
Absolutely. So we were tired of instant gratification projects, of hype projects, and we wanted to build something for the long term, something that was global, and something that made a statement about not just NFTs but blockchain. I love that they are to crypto, and so Free the Mouse, like crypto, is a David and Goliath story where Bitcoin was made to say to the world, we will not stand for these oppressive financial institutions that are built for us as the people to fail. We, the people, do have the power, like we've seen with AMC and GameStop, to rise up together and be as mighty as these institutions that wish for us to fail, to stay small and not advance from the place from which we were born. So this is the spirit of Bitcoin, and this is the spirit of Free the Mouse.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, I think you want to start over here on the website, do you? Is this appropriate?
Yes, très bien. So who are we?
I'll give you 5 minutes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Your pitch will start now.
So we are a small team, all spread out around the globe. Yes, we have Solidity and Web Design in NorCal. We have our art team in Southern California. We have our risk management team and a legal copyright advisors in Israel and New York, an academic research team in Boston and in New York as well. And what we are trying to express is the idea that today, our identity, who we are online, is enmeshed intimately in art culture. Yes, and this identity has a value. So who we are online, a la a bored ape, which is a visual representation of culture, has a value. And so in this context, when who we are is an amalgam of culture, there are sinister implications, a ceiling on who we can become if organizations can endlessly own intellectual property. I don't know if you know this, and we are not able to share this today. We have an Ivy League academic research team building essays upon essays around the history of copyright, around the history of exploitative background of Mickey Mouse being stolen from the Black aesthetic, and having its roots in minstrelsy and blackface, as well as our tokenomic design for our economy. So to really educate and showcase the importance of fighting for the freedom of ideas. Yes, but we are condensing it down and using the mouse sort of as a foundation or platform for showcasing and educating on these ideas. So enough of this. What you see here, high level, is a classic Steamboat Willie frame. Yes, and as we scroll down, we will learn high level about the project and how it will unfold, the mint price, the total mint count, and how we can finally give fans a way of truly owning their own free mouse. With the apps, what did we see? Beer companies, coffee companies, so much value created by empowering individuals to build with their own character. Imagine if everyone had their own mouse. And so how will it unfold and what will it look like? In the disguises section, you can see our idea for how we built out the matrix that will be inspiration for the disguises or traits of the mouse. So all major global human events across art, fashion, music, culture, science, civil rights, etc. These major human moments are being voted on by our community so that they can decide what is being used as the inspiration for the traits that you will see. You can imagine everything from a bored, unshaven pizza face all the way to Andy Warhol soup can hat, diamond hands gloves, Christian Dior drip, Elon's rocket, and several in between, so that there can be an acknowledgement of the history of our friend who has seen some shit, as we like to say internally, over the last century in the threats that we are conveying. And we can keep scrolling here to now discuss the escape plan, my friends. So under promise, over deliver. You know, we are an anti-hype project. We do not wish to say, you know, all aboard the rocket ship to the moon, when Lambo, when this, when that, meme. No. This is not us. If you are interested in these things, we are not the project for you. We are exploring delayed gratification. And so our promise is simple. You will mint a mouse pass this year, if not early next, when we reach 120% whitelist reservations. Then over time, for 2 years, you will see your NFT evolve visually and in the metadata, showing the mouse's escape every year, and then every few months revealing one trait over time, so that you can say maybe 3 months in, oh my goodness, I have the rarest hat, I sell, I keep whatever, I stake and I collect my star tokens, yes? But then a few months later, another trait revealed and a unique market condition will be created, all the way until January 1st, 2024, when the mouse is revealed. At the end of the day, when we think of what we are trying to give, and many people ask you, what is the utility of this project? We quote Defaced Studios and ask, what is the utility of art on a wall? And so using academia, for the first time since Castelli, a fine art curator who brought Andy Warhol and his contemporaries to the foreground, we are also using academia to showcase the importance in depth of the freedom of ideas and what we are fighting for. And so what we are giving our collectors is a moment of history as it happens. So thank you so much for giving us this time. We appreciate the platform, and all together we say, free the mouse. Merci.
Okay.
Amazing.
That was right on
So
5
good.
minutes. Thank you so much. Now, Walt, I don't know if you're an anon, Is that your name? Do we call you Walt?
Yes, you can call me Walt Bizney.
Okay. All right, Walt Bizney. Thank you very much. That was an excellent pitch. I really enjoy that. Very, very interesting. Okay, well, I think as our special guest for the day, Andy, I will pass it to you first to give us some feedback, give us some questions for Walt here.
Okay. Well, first off, I noticed the 2024 date. For me, a week in the NFT space is like a month going by. So so you're releasing traits every month, but the mouse itself isn't going to be coming out until 2024. What's coming out on 2024?
Yes, so on 2024, the mouse which we are referencing will be public domain. Yes, this is the mission of what we are conveying about this project. And for several decades, the organization that owns the mouse has been extending that copyright to retain the ownership of this mouse. We will not go too deep into it today because there's not the time, but our philosophy is if you cannot afford to contain an idea, you do not have the ability to afford to retain the idea. So we are fighting to demonstrate the importance of public domain, and you will unlock a one-of-one generative mouse. Yes, our famous favorite mouse that you might guess if you were to look for the most famous, worldly recognized mouse, yes. And this will have all the traits dictated by that matrix I discussed of all major global human events. So you might have a mouse that has an Andy Warhol hat, an Elon rocket toy in its hands, or an American Gothic pitchfork, Christian Dior shorts, and it will be a one-of-one generative free mouse. Does this
Awesome.
answer your question, Andy?
Sort of. I just want to make sure, am I going to be able to see building of the mouse, or am I not going to see the building and the adding of the traits until 2024?
This is a great question, and one we are looking at internally, looking at how we can scale, allowing for the visual display of those traits over time. Okay. Originally, we were going to only display the properties one at a time. So in the metadata, that story and idea would evolve. But we are now looking at perhaps issuing the traits one NFT, perhaps on a polygon, one trait at a time, and then using the governance token to upgrade to even more rare traits before assembling your final mouse. This is still in the conversation though. Okay, so then going on to my feedback, I would say, right now it sounds like you're still in the idea stage of things. Not a lot has been implemented right now, and correct me if I'm wrong because I'd like to know where you're at in the project. But I would definitely give him feedback. I'd say it'd be really good if I'm seeing the mouse to see the mouse on the journey, and then at the end in 2024 when I've added all these crazy traits that it's unlocked. If I was going to get it. Yes, absolutely. So we are now over 50% reserved, and so we have been building for quite some time. Again, the team is now 17 large, and so there is quite a bit of depth to go over, which we do not have time today to investigate. Mm-hmm. But I totally hear the intrigue around seeing the visual, although I do not know if in the space the juice is worth the squeeze, or if the visuals should be better maintained for a moment, a climax at the end, or slowly revealed over time to slowly let the steam out of the balloon. I do not know which is better, but we are considering both angles.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you. Merci.
Sarah, I think most of you folks here know Sarah, our new community and social team member. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Do you have any thoughts or feedback on this one for Walt for us?
So I really like the idea of, with the whole copyright thing and given the chokehold that the mouse currently has on the entertainment industry, it's a really, really interesting idea. I think I do have to agree with Andy about the longevity of it. 2024 is a really long time. But overall, I think it's a really interesting idea and one that I'd probably just keep an eye on.
Totally.
Merci. Thank you, Sarah.
I got a question. What's preventing them from extending again in 2024? Like, is that a possibility that 2024 could come and they could decide to extend their copyright again?
Yes, the golden question. Thank you so much for asking this. So there are a few ways to tackle this. One, hopefully, by the grace of God, the mouse becomes public domain and we can continue our mission. Two, if they fight to extend copyright, we will have a war chest to allow our community to vote to sue that organization or counter-sue that organization and then lobby Congress and make a statement whether or not we win, still bring to the public discourse the importance of fighting for the freedom of ideas. And then finally, we are protected under parody or caricature law because of the modification of the intent and context of the mouse as well as the aesthetic, much like you might see Alec Monopoly or Matt Gondek and several other artists who modify in idea or context or visual a famous character. So this is the whole legal strategy. We have a team of 4 lawyers building out specifically how we might advance our vision in a strategic way to again fight for the freedom of ideas.
I love it, and actually what I would say is that like the way you're approaching your project, I haven't seen other entrepreneurs sort of tackle the context of NFTs in this way. So I'm really interested in that. I think in your presentation and your pitch, you focused a lot on the vision component, which is important. I understand and connect with that. But I will say that like I think that in a presentation like this, where you're thinking, I need to, I'm trying to access capital, I'm trying to win over an investor, I'm trying to pull in strategic partners, whatever that may be, I think maybe in moving forward, you'll focus your presentation more around risk mitigation. Because I think that you talked a lot about the vision, but the biggest thing that you have going on right now revolves around the risks and taking on, like you said in the beginning, like David and Goliath. And I think that is really the core of what this is. And Mickey Mouse is sort of like a prisoner of war that you're just saying, here's one example of an idea that is stuck. The big problem, though, has less to do with Mickey Mouse than it is with like copyright. And I think if you're going to present this idea like to investors or to strategic partners, it's going to be really about convincing them that you understand that element of things. And yeah, I mean, great presentation. I love you're very charismatic, and I definitely am excited to see this continue.
Thank you so much for the feedback. I appreciate you, Kevin.
Absolutely.
No, just my 2 cents. Sorry, Andy, were you saying something?
Oh, I'll just finish add in a little bit more feedback and with everything. I definitely agree. I'd say I'd like to see more actionable steps. If you have verified contract, all that kind of stuff, turning these things into actionable steps, showing everything moving forward, that will help gain investors a lot as well.
Yes, and given the anonymity of the team, we are minting on drop space since they do verify the smart contracts and investigate the team as another layer of confidence to build given our important anonymous front.
Are you guys are going to be anonymous the whole time, or are you going to be doxxed?
100% anonymous.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So again, being candid, I've been in a lot of NFT projects that there's a lot of risk to people investing in stuff like that. So definitely actionable steps with everything moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So have you had the chance to review any of the academia that we have developed by chance? Any of the essays or any of our?
I saw your team. I saw your team. I saw the manifesto. I took a look at the website. I took a look at all the details that were sent over as much as I could with the time frame.
Très bien. Okay. Merci.
Walt, I think your presentation was really cool. First of all, I understood it quite well. I think you're doing something never before seen or attempted and I understand you needing to be anonymous. I think the beautiful thing about blockchain is it allows you to be anonymous and tackle big organizations behind while having a team that's very dedicated, etc. I think the regular investors in this space are all about investing in something, seeing it appreciate almost immediately, flipping it, maybe investing long term. So you're trying to build something different. So the challenge for you would definitely be probably just finding the right audience that are not really investors, but sort of people that are on the same journey as you that want to see this through. So no really questions from me or no real feedback. Just kind of from me as someone who has interest in different spaces. I'm just curious to see how this all plays out and see you guys progress. But yeah, I just think the challenge for you guys is to find the right demographic. Not so much to sell to, but more to just join you guys and be part of the team as a community.
Absolutely. This has been the biggest part of our journey so far. We have over 500 unique whitelisted applicants who have gone through an onboarding process, cracking Morse code, sharing a bit of their heart and their mind. Where the apes might have the hype beasts and the cool cats, the families, we have the radicals, the philosophers, the academics who are excited about the idea of changing the way the world thinks and dreams of ideas. So thank you for sharing this and all for feedback. Yes.
So one quick question from me is, so you guys are an anonymous team, and I understand that because you guys are pushing this forward. Do you think the community members that purchase the NFT take on a bit of risk?
So it is a fabulous question, and one our legal strategy is investigating heavily. There is an argument to say that because we are not selling the mouse itself, yes, they are simply exchanging their mouse pass. Finally, for the mouse, once it is public domain, they are in the clear. But there is still an idea around dissolving the value of a current copyright or current mark, which has not successfully gone to the courts yet as like a cornerstone case. But it is something our legal team is sort of debating internally. We had one lawyer for copyright, and this was not enough since we got the go-ahead. And another lawyer said, no, this is not good. So now they are debating as they build our legal strategy to move forward in the safest way possible. But this is a totally valid concern we are exploring at the moment.
Okay.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I'll just be watching. I think it's an awesome idea. I think you're doing something that is very, there's a lot of passion behind it. So it's very cool to see you guys, the people in different demographics trying different things.
It's brave.
Merci.
Congrats to you, man.
Yes,
right.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate you.
Awesome.
Oh, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Walt. We really appreciate that. Great presentation. Okay, Kev, I will let you introduce the next one for us. Since we did not have any feedback in chat here that wasn't basically covered in our discussion, I will just remind people watching here in the Shark Tank on the DG realm, if you guys have any feedback or any questions for any of these pitches, just type it up in the chat. And we'll do our best to get to it for you. So, Kev, who's next?
Absolutely.
Next victim.
Glad to announce our next bait for the Shark Tank. That's right. We have our next presenter sent in an application, and I could not help but want to show this to y'all and hear this presentation. Space Flight Simulator actually created a game that exists right on an NFT. Personally, I had never seen that before. So without further ado, let's give a little metaverse round of applause for Maku Ranger, Marc-Andre, and his team for Space Flight Simulator.
Okay. Mark, can you hear us?
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going? Can you just
Great,
take a minute to introduce yourself and the project and your team before we put you on the clock here?
Yeah, sure. We are a team of veteran game developers, and like I'll point out in a minute, we noticed a few weird things in the NFT gaming space, and we wanted to bring solutions to those issues. So we were mostly game developer with fun at heart. So but we get in there with the NFT tech and things. So Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
And
All right.
as you can see, we are not anonymous like at all.
Okay. All right. Do you feel ready to start your pitch?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my friend, you have 5 minutes. Take it away.
Thank you. Is it possible? There's a slide just before that.
There is. Is this
There you go.
supposed to be doing something?
It's a video. Yeah, it's a
It is
video. Does it
is
play?
Okay. No, I'm not seeing anything
Maybe
there.
you
Let
gotta
me
present
just
it.
pause the
Maybe you
timer real
gotta
quick.
present
We go present. Here we go.
There you go.
Is this going to play for us now?
Well, it's all
Perhaps.
right. You can
it is
see
play-
it
it's
on the
playing.
Oh, it is
website
playing.
anyway.
All right.
So
No, it's playing. It's
Oh,
good.
cool.
It's good. It's playing. All right.
Is it like?
I
yeah,
think. Is it?
I don't see it, but it's okay. You can find it on our website. You are greeted
All right,
with
hold
this video.
Let me
So,
just go back here.
Yeah, let's get back to the first like space flight simulator.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that
Go
one.
ahead,
There you go. Thanks, man. All right, so welcome. Yeah, this is a spaceflight simulator. So just before presenting the project itself, what motivated us to go the direction we did? Next slide, please. All right. In terms of market opportunity, there's no questions. Just in 2019, pre-pandemic, the gaming industry is like so much bigger than movies and let alone music. You can see like just the mobile, for example, is like bigger than cinema itself. Meaning what? Meaning there's a huge market opportunity. I think we can see it because there's so many NFT games projects that are popping up right now. Combining this with the metaverse ideas, right now it's crazy, but there's good reason for that. And I must point out that in the pandemic, it got even worse, the disparities between the gaming and the cinema. So, what are the two main problems we see right now with gaming in NFTs? So the first, on the next slide. There you go. All right. So what happens concretely when you want to play an NFT game with your friend right now? Right? Is it fun? Like, you want to involve someone in the NFT gaming space? No pun intended. It's like, okay, you need to connect your wallet, and you might need some Ethereum or Solana. You need to connect to a website for the game and a website that's called OpenSea. So the barrier is so high that personally, I got frustrated the first few times I wanted to try games in NFT, because when I was a newbie, the barrier was so high, and it's still high for most projects, in my opinion. Next slide, please. So as a game developer, this is the opposite of fun. So yeah, hey, let's play an NFT game, but it's not fun for starting just before you play the game. The second problem is more like, next slide, please. Is more like accountability and transparency. So right now, it's not all project, of course, but like the average project, you have three things. The first is a super nice website with great graphics. You have a team of AAA veteran from cool company, but without picture, without LinkedIn profile, without anything. And then the next slide. You have like a cool video that is not gameplay. As a senior game developer, I can tell you most of them don't show gameplay. They're just cinematic that either you can cheaply make in a game engine, or you can order from an artist for a few $100. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of empty shells and thank you, and empty promises. So what we decided to do, I think Kevin summarized it well. Next slide, please. We need to change the methodology. Next slide. That's why we decided leading by action. There you go. You see the game playing. If you go on OpenSea right now, you can play our game. No wallet logging, no nothing. You just play. And it's an NFT you can own. Yeah, but is that it? Okay. Quick history of what we did. Next slide, please. So far, we had the Genesis collection, which was basically just videos of what we do. The first top left was just a circle with a box jumping. And you can see the evolution quickly. Next slide, please. So now we have a second mint. We call it the alpha release. So we have 500 roughly NFTs right now that are available, playable, all unique. Yeah. There you go. You have the link. The time goes so fast. Next slide, please. So you have like a bit of a gameplay. If you can play the video real fast, and I'll talk about what's next for us in the meantime. So basically,
we haven't got the.
Oh, you
video
can't
playing
play.
here.
Oh
And it's not doing the
no!
presentation.
I'm
either.
sure everyone can
Alright.
check it out. It's going to be worth checking out, y'all.
Yeah, we'll make sure there's links in the description for those of you on YouTube. But I think because we're on Google Docs here, yeah, it's not playing these videos. Apologize for that. We'll let you go a little bit over. Sorry for interrupting you
Thank
there.
you. No problem. It won't be long. Okay, so well, you could see the gameplay, but if you go to OpenSea to our collection, you can even play and see all the feature we implemented, not promise on a roadmap. We actually did it. Of course, we have a roadmap, but we have an honor to deliver it. When we say we deliver it, because we are AAA game developers and professional, not like random buddies, who making games. So the goal right now is interconnecting. What we do at this moment is interconnecting the 5,000 universes together. Then we need the multiplayer, and this is where you could help guys because the servers are not cheap. And at the end, yes, we'll have wallet connect with mining and traffic reward that I can elaborate on a MA on our Discord and an economy system. But the thing is, it would be optional in the sense that you can play the game even if you're not involved in the NFT space. And if you like our game, encourage us and connect your wallet and come in. So that's it for me, guys.
Excellent. All right,
Congrats.
fantastic. Thank you so much. That was a really cool, really interesting presentation, I think. Maddie, do you want to kick us off?
Can we go to OpenSea and check it out?
Absolutely. I was hoping that you would
my
say
God.
that.
Good call.
We're going to do it right now. Here we go.
This is stressful.
Come on. If it's a game, you have to play it, right?
Yeah,
Let's play the
definitely. Go ahead,
game.
man. Go ahead.
All right.
Just don't look at
Let's
the
do
floor
it.
right now.
No.
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 No, that matters.
To the moon.
Okay. All right. Here we go. WASD.
There you go with L
pretty
for
cool.
boost.
Oh, Alpha Boost. Okay.
And
I
you can shoot lasers. There you go.
I
You're
can-
actually
that's
there you
amazing.
go.
There
you go.
Off into
Careful,
space. Here we
when you
go.
get too far away from home, rockets are going to start flying at you.
Oh yeah, there's dangers in the space.
All right. I think I'm too damaged to have my boost working properly right now. You say L to
Oh, you-
boost? Oh no. Here we go. All right.
When you hold
That might-
L, you can
Yeah.
you have the blue flames and you can actually move. There you go. You see this?
I see. Yes, I see.
There you go. But it consumes way more gas, so normally you keep it for emergency. You have this mini map that where you can navigate, find other planet, maybe find special
Being
stuff.
wrecked.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
Oh
there we
yeah,
go.
this one is one of the hardest. So
Okay.
So this is pretty cool. First of all, never seen a game being played like this. But can you at some stage connect? Like you mentioned it before, but can you connect different players from going into the other person's game and playing in their universe? Because if you can do that, and then the score that you win can be like points or some sort of a token structure. It doesn't even have to be a token. That might just complicate things. But the fact that I can buy an NFT and that can be my universe that you can come to and verse me in or something, that sort of PvP model would be really cool.
100%.
But is that possible?
definitely, we even have like in our Discord, you can see like a few multiplayer tests we did, and we going there. Of course, multiplayer, any serious game developer can tell you multiplayer is at least as hard as the single. So like Walt Bizney, it's a slow process. So we aim at something solid, not like some cheap cash grab, but great things takes time. So but I even had a video which does not play right now, but it's okay. But that show like a few tests of multiplayer that we did, you have like 4 rockets interacting. Right now, what we are concentrating on is you can navigate from universe to universe. So basically, you can move from one NFT to another. Because the idea is having the 5,000 universes connected together.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
I love it. How long did it take you to get to this stage?
4 months.
4
Part-time.
months. And so you built this game from scratch, or you've taken some previous game?
Oh, no, not at all. From scratch. Like,
Right.
I didn't even know the game engine, to give you an idea.
Wow. Awesome. Congratulations. And how many people did you say are working in the team, or is it just you?
Well, there's one main game developer, which is me. I have one friend who's helped, but he's considering joining more seriously because he sees like this is awesome.
Mhm.
I think it's pretty clear we need an artist at some point. We have a great community manager, and he's with us, Meku. And he's handling, like, I think he contacted you and he does all that stuff. And we have also, a crypto specialist. But I think we need more help on that front because we are thinking about tokens and economy, so that might require people with more knowledge in that area.
Mm-hmm. And what sort of what was I gonna say? Oh, how much have you sold so far?
350 total.
$350,000.
Okay. No. I'm sorry.
Units.
I was about it's in mint, but we sold like in Ethereum at 0.5. So I don't know. It's I didn't even compute it, but it's a few Ethereum, like 10.
10 Ethereum.
More. Oh, sorry, it's 15. Yeah, 15 Ethereum, something like that.
Nice.
15 Ethereum. Okay.
Yeah, or Sol, give or take. Yeah.
Okay. So you're starting to get some funds that you can reinvest back into this.
Exactly.
Good.
But this is awkward right now because we are really looking for funds. So because we really want to open our indie game studio and have more muscle behind the development. But with 15 Ethereum, so the amount it gives, you cannot do much only with this. Or right now we are looking into funding options to leverage that money, and maybe get to 100,000. So then we can hire more help. For blockchain and as a game dev also.
Can this so one last question, sorry guys. But can this game accept other NFTs in it? Like, is there a way to? I don't know how you do it, but can it integrate with other NFTs or communicate with, like, say, a Bored Ape NFT or something else?
Like the Metakey, you mean?
Like the Metakey, yeah. Like, can it integrate the Metakey? Yeah. Give it
I won't. Okay. I cannot name any names, but right now we are discussing partnership with other NFTs that of course Metakey is I think could be cool. I think we will need some expertise in order to do that, but since this part is open-ended,
just asking to see if it's possible. You can do other NFTs, right? So for example, you can say that if you own this NFT, then in the game it gives you a stat boost or something.
Yes, sir. It is
Very
possible.
Cool. Awesome.
Now, I want to hear Sarah's insight because Sarah has actually studied a little bit of game dev herself.
Oh my god!
I'd really, really like to hear what you think, Sarah, of what you've seen here.
Yeah, so I absolutely love it. Your start of your presentation, when you said about how the bar's so high to actually kind of get into these projects and play them, is hang on. I know so many, of my friends that I've told about different projects, and they've gone, oh, how do I play it? And you go, oh, okay, well, first you need to get this, and like that sort of thing. And they're just a bit like, So the fact you can just jump on OpenSea and start playing is absolutely amazing. I actually jumped on and played a bit of your game. It was a lot of fun. I struggled with the controls a little bit, but that might be on me.
It's old school. It's supposed to be hard.
Yeah. No, it's very old school. One question I guess I had was marketing-wise, like, how are you guys going? Are you pretty active on Twitter, Instagram, any of those?
Yeah, I think we need help on that front. Yeah, that's what I would say, because right now we are so much focused on the product and quality, which is, it's fine, but we truly lack visibility, proper interaction with our community. Our community really, I feel, trust in us. The introducing video that we could not show, it was made by our member of our community, like, just because he was feeling it and he wanted to contribute generously to our success. And we have a lot of small tributes that it really drives us forward. But yeah, I wouldn't. So this is great, but yeah, we're not great at
Yeah, well, that's
marketing
like,
stuff.
yeah, it's so important, and like you've got such a good project, it'd be really good to see it like out there and getting marketed.
Thank you. I'll definitely have an item task on that.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, I could definitely say a couple things that are on my mind. Number one, obviously, really like what you're doing. I had the same reaction as probably most do, which is just the ease of being able to see, like, I can own an NFT and like future interoperability elements and just be able to just immediately jump in and play a game. I thought that was very cool. I think that, and I mean this in the kindest of ways, I think you have something that many teams don't, which is you have the engineering capacity within you. And you say you need better art, but I would honestly say I don't think that's your biggest barrier. I think you're doing great with your dev as is. I think something that just stands out for me is that you need somebody who is thinking about the problem as much as you're thinking about the development. Right now your team seems like you have like your product and you're developing it and you're getting people around it, a community manager, a crypto specialist, these people around it who are there to support the idea. But I think either it needs to be you, or maybe it's going to be your community manager. Somebody on your team needs to step up and say, I'm going to think about the problem and I'm going to infuse that into how we make decisions and how we're going to focus on what's the next step for our business. Because just by you telling me that you need an artist, and you're also saying, well, we could benefit from having marketing, like, just shows me it's like you need to have a more concise definition as to what is the next step, the next milestone that's going to get you to your next round of funding, that's going to get you to the next milestone after that. And I say that out of love for what you're doing, because I want to see this become a multiplayer 5,000 metaverses connected. I want to see that happening. But how are you going to convince, 10x the amount of people that you got in that original mint? So 350, how could you get 3,500 people to buy in on this next stage? I don't think I even have the answer to get. I'm not going to pretend like I have the answer because I don't know your business as well as you do. But one thing I can say, once you have somebody, whether it's you, who's just thinking about the problem and how all these things interconnect, your presentation is going to be far less technical, and it's going to be a lot more, more realizing for the audience, for any investor. Like, I think the biggest risk right now is you don't have you're lacking one cohesive visionary point that's focused on the entrepreneurial point of this. And I get that's not why you came into it. It's not a cash grab. But as a creator myself, like, if you don't have that, then you risk losing everything that you're building, and you're going to risk not getting it to the people you want to get it to. I hope that's not too heavy for you.
Honestly, definitely not. It's great to have like inside of a project, since I'm so focused on the tech, like you said, that I really need someone to go out there and reach people, which it's less of my thing.
Reach people, but even just sitting down and thinking about all the moving pieces, all the risks, all those things. You're thinking about the engineering brilliantly, but whether that's you or another person on your team, like, and I'd be happy to meet with you actually and talk about what those things are. Wow. So, like,
I'd be honored, to be honest.
Gladly.
And if I'm gonna go on to my feedback, I think you hit the nail on the head, Kevin on Earth. I think that perfect. As far as what you're talking about as someone taking the community and pushing it, I think you should find, like, you're crushing it as a dev. I was looking at this earlier and I saw a retro game, and then I saw that you can actually play the game inside of the NFT, and like the dev that you did there, that is incredible. I think if you found someone that is in these projects and you got into what is really flowing in the NFT space right now, you can hit all sorts of milestones wherever you want to take this project. If you start looking or finding people that are taking the Wolf game, that are taking the feudals, and how they are hitting their different milestones and blowing up. I think if you can find someone that can guide that and hit that with your own uniqueness of your development, you could take this really far, especially since I think the overall vision of where we're going in the metaverse in general is interconnectivity. I mean, all of us getting together from around the world. So seeing your project being able to become multiplayer, where everything feeds together into its own little metaverse inside a game, I like where you're going with the vision with that.
100%.
Wow. Again, great feedback. Thanks, man. It's a good idea maybe to reach other project that trace the road before us in terms of milestones and
Absolutely.
Definitely keep getting involved in the community around here. See what other I see in the NFT space. Play to earn is starting to get some traction with a lot of the people in the Twitter community. So start seeing what projects are really going successful and I would start reaching out, because that's what it's about, is building a community.
Absolutely. You're in a sweet spot. You have something money companies lack, which is development and creative potential, that a lot of companies have to actually go out and find that after the fact. So I think many cases companies, they have to raise a lot of money just to build their idea. You don't have to do that. You literally just need to find the connector, the person who can think about the problem and understand the problem, communicate that to other organizations, and you could get everything that you're looking for without even having to raise capital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really
Agreed.
interesting. Wow. Okay, my brain is spinning right now. Thanks so much.
Connect afterwards.
Thanks, man.
All right. I'm looking at some of the feedback here in chat and DCL, and everyone's really, really impressed. We have one suggestion here to maybe consider patenting this so that Atari doesn't steal it. That might be a thought.
Well,
looking
here
into
goes
some of your-
money we have.
You got some work. You got some work to do tonight.
maybe some look into protecting and preserving the IP there. I mean, most of the feedback is just overwhelmingly positive. Everyone seems to think it's a really, really cool idea. So
Wow. Some sales right after this,
so
and
much.
you can,
Yeah.
That feels good.
The link's in chat. There you go, guys. If you want to check out the collection, the link's in chat there right now. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. That was a fantastic pitch. Okay.
Thanks for the opportunity, guys. I really like the format, the Shark Tank. Yeah. Thanks.
Amazing having you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Kev, we have one more pitcher for this evening. Would you like to introduce him for us?
Absolutely. I would love to. Dylan is working on a project that really focuses on appreciation of literature, starting about a year ago with the idea to build a Library of Alexandria on the blockchain. And for those of you who don't know, Library of Alexandria was historic library that got burnt down countless number of times. Can't even imagine how much knowledge was lost. So Work in Progress Publishing has launched the Page token and the Page DAO to further democratize development and ensure the technology that they're creating around NFT books can be free and easy to use. And actually, one of their founding members is a Metakey holder. So in essence, they're having a read and write to earn via blockchain project. Now just wrap your head around there. I'm going to let Dylan take it away. Dylan, are you there?
Hey, I am, and I am thrilled to be here, man. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for the honor of selecting the project. I'm just absolutely stunned by the quality of the other projects tonight, and just shout out to the other couple of presenters because, I mean, wow, this is amazing. You guys are going to be a hard act to follow. For real.
Well, it's wonderful
Well,
to
you're
have
well
you, Dylan.
deserved. Yeah.
Let us know when you're ready to start, and we'll start the clock for you, mate.
All right. Well, I am ready right now.
Okay, well, take it away.
All right. Well, so just a few words about background on me. My name is Thomas Dylan Daniel. I'm a philosopher. I've written 6 books, and actually today we launched the 7th as an NFT book. So that's kind of me. About a year and a half ago, I appeared on some podcasts, and it became very apparent that I didn't know what an NFT was, but I needed to figure that out. And I had been sort of philosophically approaching blockchain as a writer and kind of like a journalist, I guess, writing about crypto projects, and I learned a lot en route to helping actually to found the Crypto Writer magazine. And so by coming up through Crypto Writer, I was able to sort of sink my teeth into a bunch of different, various different technologies. And sort of what we're about to present today is the work of not only me, but probably 50 or more of my new best friends from around the world and around the internet, which all kind of came together to launch the first real NFT book earlier. So this is a book that is a non-fungible token that has an ebook and an audiobook in it, and also offers the capability to create a print-on-demand stream, that we actually envision in, running retail locations and stuff down the line. So let's go to the first slide, which is slide number 2 here. We are paged out in WIP Publishing. The problem, just real simple. We'll move through this quickly, but the problem is that DRM is a huge issue for authors. Basically, Web 3.0 provides a solution to the problem of DRM. All we need to do is get the word out to authors everywhere. We launched it today. It is a thing. It is real. So books are a $132 billion industry, which is kind of funny because there are, I believe, 132 million that exist. Fewer than 1% of those are on the blockchain. Basically, like the 20 that we've put on chain are pretty much on chain, and that's about it. We want to put them all on the blockchain. Right now, we is WIP Publishing, which is a dev team of about 10 with a large network. We're talking, our big investor actually at this point is Cameron Hijazi, who's the founder of Cent, which is a social media network that, has got, just tons and tons of really talented people coming out of it, and just all kinds of real big projects. So WIP Publishing is basically a small group that we've kind of created, but it's part of like this larger constellation. We've done over 20 NFT books at this point. And today we launched The Mask of Ganymede in collaboration with the Hash Masks, which for those who aren't in the know on this, is a major Ethereum NFT profile picture art project that at this point has done, I believe, over 40,000 of Ethereum in volume on OpenSea. So today we launched this really special book. On to slide 4, we are giving the WIP meetup, which features a lot of Sentians, such as myself, a wearable via an airdrop. And basically our pitch for the Metakey grant is that we would like to do this for you. We have an artist named Musashi. He's really cool. I think he's pretty young. He is an up-and-coming metaverse wearable and other metaverse sort of token designer. This particular token is from CryptoVoxels, but we're looking to move into DCL, and there are a couple of other different metaverses that we're interested in as well, which include like Neos,
if anybody's familiar with that. So Musashi's kind of pulling us that direction. Let's look at slide 5 right quick. Man, 5 minutes really flies by when you're having fun. Yeah, a small amount for a wearable, but we're also looking at the future of literature. This is sort of a really cool concept because it allows people to dress up as Whippy and parade around the metaverse, dressed as our character. The first version you can see actually on slide number 6 here, which is just one big picture, and then also on slide number 7. So that's Musashi, going and doing the thing. Yeah, just hit 5 minutes. I get to talk about this all day.
No, I'm sure you have plenty of opportunities to reiterate here with some of the questions and feedback. But thank you very much for the pitch. That was fantastic. I'm going to come back to slide 3 here real quick because we missed that and just like linger on this for a moment. But who wants to kick it off with the feedback?
I'll go ahead. I've been looking at this. I've been looking at this project all day actually since I found out about it. So I really like this project, and I saw that you had your white paper published. I wanted to ask some questions on it. So that wearable, is that going to be airdropped with the NFT that you dropped today? That book?
Actually, no. I was thinking that maybe we could issue POAPs or some other way, kind of figure out maybe via Metakeys. Just kind of isolate a group of the core people who have invited me here tonight, so that we can airdrop them all these unique wearables.
Well, I wanted to ask. I was looking at your token. So I'll start there. The token that you're dropping, I saw that you can earn with reading and writing. How does the earn to read work?
Oh, right on. I mean, we were talking about play to earn today. We envision read to earn in a very similar light. What happened today was sort of the genesis of this whole cascade of different things that are about to happen. But one of those things involves either the page token that we already have being used in sort of a volume mining type of way, if you're familiar with that term, to basically incentivize people to read and write. And there's a way that we can incentivize people economically to create quizzes and then to correctly answer the quiz questions using an inflationary crypto token such as Page or maybe something different. And I believe that actually today we pretty much sealed a partnership with Omnia DeFi to work on marketing and just other sort of aspects of like this whole how do we basically take assets from the real world and tokenize them, kind of hard problem that we're facing right now.
Okay. The other one I wanted to ask is, are you planning on turning this into a marketplace as well? People can upload their books. How's that going to work? Is it going to look like OpenSea or what?
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for asking that question because I totally forgot to mention that earlier. We're actually in the Hack Atom competition right now. And so while all of our products will on OpenSea, we're actually going to primarily use a Pylons wallet that doesn't exist yet. And basically, as soon as Evmos is ready for mainnet, what we're going to do is kind of open the floodgates and put up like 10 different books that people can use EVM on Cosmos SDK application specific blockchain via Evmos to go ahead and start minting these things and transacting them gaslessly. And so that's kind of step 1. Step 2 is a website that gives people access to our minter. And then step 3, obviously, is kind of like that whole marketplace. But like I said, I think with our Pylons wallet integration that we're working on, it actually isn't such a big problem that we need to create, like an OpenSea clone ourselves for this. I think we can largely use sort of these extant, or I guess about to be extant Cosmos SDK solutions to make all this stuff happen.
Great. Okay. Well, I won't take up any more time with it. I'm an avid reader. I saw this today. I really liked it. So I like what you're doing. Last question was, how long have you been working on this anyway?
I mean, honestly, in a way, I would say pretty much my entire life. I discovered Bitcoin in about 2011. I've been to grad school since then. I've written a lot of books. I've studied a lot of philosophy. That kept coming up earlier, and I loved it. I mean, just really the philosophical kind of approach to living is what ended up leading me here. So even though it's only been boots on the ground for 18 months or so to get us to this point, I would actually say that a lot of what I did before this directly worked to prepare me for this opportunity.
Great. Yeah, you're crushing it. Good luck to you with the project. I think it's going to do well. We'll let the next panel go ahead.
Sarah?
Yeah, so I am also an avid reader. So this one in particular also really interested me. Like I, would read at least read a book a week. I love the idea of giving the power back to the authors as well. I feel like that really ties in with what we're seeing at the moment with, even musicians and stuff like that using the metaverse to really benefit them. Sorry, I'm still trying to think of a question I had, but I feel like you kind of covered everything that I kind of had questions about before when I was reading it. So yeah, I'm really, really personally excited about this one. Excited to see more books get added, and definitely will be keeping an eye on it.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Maddie, what do you think? I don't. You go first.
You can go. No, you can go. I'm actually not a reader, so I can give a perspective of a non-reader. Maybe your demographic, maybe not your demographic. But I feel like Kev wants to say something.
I was gonna say, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I'm embarrassed. I need to be reading more books, but I'm constantly in FOMO zone where I'm like, I could be reading this book, or I could be like checking these Discord channels to make sure I'm on the right spot, that I'm finding my timing in the market. Like, I find time to read when I can, but if a project like this could actually allow me to earn while reading, then maybe that little part of my brain that's saying you're missing out on another animated toaster, then maybe that part of my brain would stop talking and be like, but now you can actually afford it, considering now you're earning by reading. So that for me already, I loved it, and I feel like that's huge. Keep going in that direction, because I think that is like, and I'll say the same thing I said to our previous pitcher Maku, more focus on the problem. You're so many pitchers, they get stuck in the technical aspects in a pitch. I've done that for many pitches, but focus in on the problem, and our minds will do our imagination will do all the work. I think you use a little bit too much jargon. I think that there's a lot of people who are going to watch this afterwards and are going to have to go online and search, what does DRM mean? What is, all the absolutely, that's exactly, I have this written down, $DRM. So little less jargon. Practice explaining this to a
Digital rights
5-year-old, or
management.
if you have a niece,
This is right there.
nephew. Exactly. Practice explaining this to young children or high schoolers, people who are a lot younger, who know nothing about the crypto space. That's how I definitely got a lot of practice working on what I do in this space, like just explaining this to my young nieces and nephews. And thirdly, and I'll leave on this last note, you mentioned you're having a hard time finding out how to tokenize physical objects. Check out Collect Online, COLLEC online. This is not a shill. They literally have a website around tokenizing physical objects and like collectible pieces and things like that. Maybe it'll solve your problem, or maybe you can talk to them and figure out how they did it so you can apply it to yours, and maybe a problem solved right there.
Pal, awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Great work.
As far as a recommendation too, I know Gary Vee just released his book 12 and a half, so he's obviously huge into NFTs and everything. So you may want to DM, tweet the hell out of him, and see if maybe he can put his book up there and then help promote your platform. Just a thought.
Great idea. Yeah. close to Gary Vee. We're in Token Smart all the time. So I actually was talking to Rizzle about maybe introducing me at some point earlier.
Nice. That's a good move.
There you go.
Dylan, good to meet you, man. Love the product. Even though I don't understand it because I'm not a reader. So I don't understand the value proposition because I personally am not a reader and I actually don't read at all. I skim things. I can probably last about 5 pages before my attention span dies and I just watch a video.
We get
about
frustrated
what it
at
is.
him all the time.
Yeah.
His refusal to read.
Sorry?
Do you like to use audiobooks to kind of help yourself along? When I was in grad school, I had to read so many books, it was ridiculous. And so I started, in my mind, it was kind of cheating, but I would listen to audiobooks when I was like on a run or a bike ride or whatever.
Yeah, audiobooks do better for me. Audiobooks do better for me, yeah. But in terms of like getting like a long email or something, or, that's obviously not what you're building for, but like a story where you have to understand the characters and really get attached to them and sort of build on that. I have a very short attention span, so I personally struggled. But obviously there's readers out there, and I think it's really cool what you're doing. But I wanted to ask a few questions. First of all, you said you're from the CryptoVoxels crew. So you go to the Token Smart meetups, and you understand you're part of that community. I know they're really big on just virtual meetups.
That's true. They totally are. The WIP meetup in particular is what I'm referring to, and I'm kind of a fringe member. I've always been kind of a fringe member. When I joined Cint, I started writing philosophy, kinds of stuff like that, and I made a lot of friends that way. And those friends are still friends, even though we've kind of moved on from Cint and we're more in like Discord, Token Smart, and CryptoVoxels primarily these days. The WIP meetup, oddly enough, WIP Publishing was named by somebody who has nothing to do with the WIP meetup, and there was we did it as kind of a bad pun, but we like definitely talked to all the people from the WIP meetup about this, Matthew and Rizzle and everybody, and said, hey, is it cool if we go with this name? And they were like, sure, yeah, we'll have you on the WIP at some point, and that happened like a few weeks ago, so it was a lot of fun.
No, they're really cool guys. They're awesome. Do they still run the WIP meetups?
They do. They do, yes. I think it's every Thursday at I want to say noon or maybe 12:30 PST is when things start off, and then it just gets crazier and crazier from there. I've been a guest the past 2 times they've done it. So,
awesome. Well, good to know, because I haven't connected with them for a while since NFTs blew up. But yeah, a couple of questions. So when you say they're on chain, what do you mean by that? How much of the content is on chain?
Okay, so for the moment, it's actually mostly on IPFS, right?
Yep.
So the idea is that what is a book? And then you could look at like the ebook, you could look at the physical book, the mass market paperback, you could look at the audio book, you could try to abstract all that away and look at kind of like the intellectual property represented by that book. And that's basically where we kind of come in, because the idea is that there are all different sorts of things that are produced alongside a book or that can be created from a story. And in some sense, everything should probably start with the text. And it needs to be very, very easy to sort of integrate from text to audio, and then from there possibly to video or maybe even a video game at some point. Really and truly.
Totally.
Right. Yeah.
I can see it being like, like in those games where you actually have to like find books in the world that are going to lead you down. And you talked about having these elements where you have to remember and, take information back from what you read and apply it, maybe to a quiz. So I could totally see that being the case.
Yeah. Puzzles. We've got a writer named Andy who has created this whole book that he's releasing one chapter at a time to people who solve puzzles using different types of NFTs. And we're all about supporting like, any kind of crazy experiment somebody has. The goal of WIP Publishing is to basically just make whatever the fantasy is into a reality around that, that intellectual property or that idea. Yeah.
I like it.
You mentioned you had investors into the company. Are you taking more investors, or is there any opportunity there for people to get involved?
Oh, big time. We're looking at doing, an actual sizable round. We thought we had somebody who is real interested, who's really well aligned. It looks like the actual funding needs to come from a different place, though, and I'm happy to, kind of discuss that situation to anybody or with anybody who's interested. I think just, kind of cliff notes, the total ask at the moment is something like $2.5 million.
Cool. And is that just the seed round? I know we're going off topic now. So is that like?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We actually didn't plan to do any kind of VC anything, so it'd probably be just like a straight equity deal type of thing.
So you're raising 2.5, or your valuation is 2.5?
Nah, we'd be trying to raise that much,
Right.
And there's a couple of other avenues in which we might end up actually getting that money first. So there's kind of some gray area. Historically speaking, like I've had kind of a hard time, in general with VCs. We released the Page token, which has been probably a more successful kind of means to the same end of having a little bit of liquidity around to spin on projects and so on.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Yeah, look, no real questions from me. Just kind of like understanding this whole new sort of line or where NFTs can fit. It's quite interesting. Today I learned about this, and then also copyright with Mickey Mouse, and then games with NFTs. So, I'm just listening and learning. Very cool.
Well, I think that's the best part of Shark Tank, isn't it? We get to see some really unique ideas.
It's a good break from Twitter for me, because on Twitter you come across all these NFT projects, and much of them are the same. Well, at least to me,
It's a good break from avatars.
what comes onto my feed, avatars and very simple sort of projects, and then we come to the Shark Tank, and there's some really serious business models.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Now, who have we lost? We've lost
Andy.
somebody.
Lost Andy.
We've lost Andy. Okay, all right. And people have
I
moved
think
around
I'm
there a
good.
little bit. That's all right.
I want to make a side note. Anybody who wants, make sure you submit your application. So so you can come here and pitch on an upcoming Shark Tank. We, as Maddie said, like we're looking for all kinds of projects that highlight your talents and your ideas. It's not about where you are in your growth stage. You can be early. You can be raising venture capital. It's all about convincing us that your problem is worth solving, and that that you're the person with the passion and drive to solve it. So definitely make that application, and we'll love to have you.
Yeah, if you type !shark in our Discord server, it will generate a form for you that you can use to apply. If you're watching this or listening to this on YouTube, you guys will be able to find a link in the description below. We're also going to be writing up a little digest for this after the fact that you guys will be able to find more information on there. Now, I'm going to have a quick look at community feedback here. Everyone, again, seems like really, really impressed by this idea, Dylan. There's a lot of fascination with the opportunity for writers to self-publish and then collect royalties in the same way that we've been seeing with artists for quite a while. And we're seeing with musicians sort of just starting to emerge more recently. Profit Guru wants to know, what was the site he mentioned to tokenize real-world items? Can you just repeat that for us?
Oh,
Dylan?
yes.
I believe Omnia DeFi was Omnia DeFi is the one that we're going to partner with. There was one other Connect. Let's see, Collect Online.
Collect something. Collect Online. Okay, so it's Collect Online and Omnia DeFi. Okay. And for those of you here in the Shark Tank that are not part of the Metakey Discord, if you go to discord.gg/Metakey, you'll be able to join us there. Okay, cool. I just want to say, I know I'm not a panelist, but I just really want to say, Dylan, like as a fellow philosophy graduate and massive book nerd, I think this is a really, really important project. And I'm just like really impressed and really stoked for you. So thank you so much for the work you're doing and have done so far.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers. I appreciate that so much, man.
No worries. Now, our panelists have a difficult and unenviable task here to choose one out of these three projects to award a Ethereum grant equivalent to $500 US. We will be submitting this to the DAO in Discord after it's gone up on YouTube, and the DAO will be able to select the allocation of another $500. It can go to the same pitcher, it can go to a different pitcher, but this is going to be a really difficult one. So if you guys just want to take 5 minutes, panelists, to discuss between yourselves, see if we can arrive at some kind of consensus or a majority at the very, very least, and see if we can decide where to put this.
Yes. I put some in our chat there, panelists. I put a little voting tally. So if anybody wants to vote, we can maybe discuss what we liked and then just cast our vote independently in that little Discord channel we have going, that little Discord chat. But I will say that all three were great ideas. I felt like the second two had their pitch decks more aligned, and that is definitely something that's pushing me in a certain direction.
Okay.
Not going to bias
All right.
people, though.
Looks like we might be doing this anonymously then, huh? Okay.
I think it's very close to call. I think it's very close because personally, I feel like really driven and pulled towards all three of these projects because they all kind of stand for something different and have a different approach. So it's tough. Andy, I mean, fellow entrepreneur, break my indecision here.
Oh man, I'll publicly tell mine for sure. But first, I'll say I definitely wanted to see more action steps. So seeing that from the next two projects was really good. As an entrepreneur, I hear ideas all the time and vision all the time, and I love seeing the vision. But there's got to be some things that show that you're gonna get there. Because like I hear ideas all the time. So I like the ideas of all three. The second project, I really like the vision of that too, and I wanted to see you connect everything over there. And that was the first time seeing a game that I can buy right there, and it's in game. I thought you're gonna have to go to a website to unlock and everything. That was a really cool concept to me. So I like the play to earn, but for me, I really like where Eric is at with his project, how long has been on it, and for me, I think as a utility, the Library of Alexandria, I get that. So I'm gonna go with Eric's because I see that the big picture of that is he's moving in that direction.
Okay.
Okay.
So you
All right,
mean
cool.
the WIP Publishing?
WIP Publishing, yes.
Nice.
Okay. Do you want to submit that in the Discord here, where Kevin's just
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, just give us a reaction so we can see that. Sarah, have you got any thoughts? Anything that's pulling you in a certain direction?
Yeah, so I'm really torn between the last two as well. Like two great loves of mine are books and video games. So immediately there, absolutely two projects I'm super interested in. I think I'm going to have to give the slight edge to the space flight simulator. Just the accessibility alone for me was just absolutely huge. I've never seen anything like that before, particularly in the NFT space where there can be such a bit of a hurdle, particularly for people that might not be as familiar with the industry. The fact that you can just go to OpenSea, play it right away is massive. And I think overall, I think it would be really popular with a lot of people, particularly people that are interested in this industry. So my vote's going to be going to the spaceflight simulator.
Oh, okay. Have you already submitted that in the
I've
Discord
already
here?
submitted, yeah.
Okay, so I think we're at a tie here.
We are.
Yeah, which is unprecedented. This hasn't happened before because Kev, okay. So, now what do we do here?
Mike, you need to be the tiebreaker. Can I say something? Maybe one of the reasons why I said I was also leaning towards B, towards the space flight, but I have to say my differentiator was that the only person who I felt like immediately said that they're going to give something to the Metakey community And I think this goes into part like know where you're pitching. Like for me, that's what made me say C, because personally I got some Metakeys. I want to walk around as Whippy up in the Decentraland like ASAP. So
Yeah.
Having a book wearable? Come on.
come on.
What are we gonna do, Maddie?
So we actually have a decisive winner.
We got a tie. We got a tie. Yeah,
All right.
between Spaceflight Simulator and WIP Publishing.
There you go.
So
Okay,
what are we gonna
okay.
do?
I reckon we give them both $500. I think. Have you had a tie before?
No, we haven't tied
Okay.
before.
Well, I don't see why we can't give them both a bit of a boost of the same ecosystem. There's no point splitting it. Let's just give them both $500. I think that's pretty cool.
I think that's fair.
But
They're
just
both great.
my quick comments on this whole thing. I'm always blown away by the projects that come through, and for me, there's kind of like a difference. I don't really have a specific category on who I decide to give the $500 to. Me personally, there's a separation sometimes in my brain between some of the really awesome projects out there that have tremendous momentum, and to some of the projects that are sort of at like a ground roots level, where if you give them $500, you can actually see how that might help them. And that's always a battle in my brain happening. So sometimes, the first one, I felt the mission was really, really cool. I felt the speaker was tremendously passionate. I felt like, I may not understand it completely, but I felt like he had the drive to make it happen and find the right audience and push through, where that was the whole vibe of the NFT industry. It was all about trying to find a collection of people that liked collecting art as NFTs, right? Finding a collection of people to like to go and purchase virtual land and experiment on things that can be built. That was the whole point of the early scene of blockchain. And I felt like number one, I showed that that sort of a mission. But number two for me was like, well, he's got a great game. If you give him $500, you can see how that can help him find maybe some talent that could help him scale his efforts, or at least keep him going. So that's why I picked number two, but I felt number one, the mission, and that reminded me of the early days. So shout out to everyone that came today and presented.
Okay. Oh, fantastic. Okay, there we go. We're gonna give 500 in Ethereum to Spaceflight Simulator and to WIP Publishing. Now, this will be up on YouTube in a couple of days, or for those of you who are watching on YouTube now, if you have a Metakey, you can go to the Discord, you can go down to the DAO section, and you'll be able to vote for each of these projects, and we'll have a vote open for 24 hours, and the results of which will determine another $500 allocation. So please, if you are a Metakey holder and you have seen this, then do feel free to get your say in and discuss in the discussion channel there. That's it. That's all I've got. I think that was another pretty successful Shark Tank. We had some interesting ideas, some interesting discussions. So guys, thank you all so much for joining us. I'm aware there were some frame drops on the stream because we're experimenting with a new server at the moment, so we're going to have to iron that out a little bit as well. But I hope the experience for those of you watching here in Decentraland wasn't too bad. We really appreciate you guys showing up. It's
Totally.
yeah, really good of you. And don't forget, everyone, Metacrew reveal in what is it now? It's like 72 hours.
7
I'm literally shaking right
72 hours, I think. I think it's like almost exactly 72 hours.
Friday,
do
3
it.
p.m.
Yeah.
AEDT.
Yeah,
Can't
so
wait to know.
almost exactly. Oh my goodness.
We've been working on that internally for like 5 months, so
Yeah, a
we're
stupid.
finally stoked
Yeah.
to see people actually enjoy them and put them as avatars and things. So
Can't wait.
let's do it.
Can't wait.
Phase
So-
1, phase 1.0, everyone. We're gonna keep
That's what
going
it's
on that
about.
one.
We're also going to have a captain's log later in the week, as well as some more interesting, exciting stream content yet to be announced. So keep an eye on the socials and everything. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it. We'll give you a bit of an outro screen here. If you guys want to hang around in DCL for a little bit longer, we'll be around. But thank you very much for watching.
Awesome.
And we'll
Thanks,
catch
guys.
you in the next one. All right.
See you
Goodbye, my
next time.
friends. Take
Thanks.
care, everyone. Bye-bye.